Welcome back, friends, to Watch Closely. It's a weekly show where we take a closer look at the world of movies, shows, and streaming. I'm your host, Jason, and thank you guys for joining us today on this eve of Friday. Appreciate you guys joining us today. Ernie is in the process of putting his daughter to bed, so he will be jumping on at any moment. Fingers crossed. You know how it is to put the kids down. But welcome to the show. We got a great show for you tonight. We have a lot of stuff that dropped this week. We had Deadpool and Wolverine we're going to go over. We had a lot of like movie content. Rebel Moon came out. We're going to talk about that. Should be a good talk. But yeah, how have you guys been? I hope you guys are having a great week. The thing that I've been playing around with a lot, and one thing I wanted to share with you guys before we got into the news was there is a let me see if I can pull it up. I don't know what's gonna happen. See, Ernie's set to come, but I wanted to show you guys. Have you guys played with Udio at all? This audio creation thing. It's an AI generated song generator. You can pretty much type in anything you want. But the thing I wanted to share with you guys, I created a couple theme songs, and you guys in the comments tell me if this is any good. But I wanted to play one of these that's like a Watch Closely theme. Tell me if this is a W or an L, guys. It's supposed to be kind of like Queen. This is all AI, guys. This is all AI generated.
Here are your hosts of Watch Closely. Come tune in, folks. It's time. It's time, baby. Watch Closely Night. Watch Closely Night. Jason and Ernie, yeah, they know. They know movies. They'll chat it out live on the mic.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but I think it's fun. I've been playing with this a lot, dude. We could come up with like anything. Like you could type in Wolverine and Deadpool, dude. I mean, we could play around with it. I'm curious to see your guys' thoughts. But let's do, and since this is probably one of Ernie's least favorite topics, but definitely recommend Udio if you guys haven't played with it. It's free, I think, for like, I don't know, like 600 songs. So you can generate 600 generations per month right now. It's like free. So like, if you guys have like theme songs or anything you want, if you have like special occasions where, you know, like I think Ernie and his wife went on some hike the other day, and it was like a beautiful hike with their daughter, and I just went Ernie and the wife going on a hike with their daughter, and like I created like a little jingle and I sent it to him, and he was laughing. And dude, this is the future, guys. This is the future. But since this is probably Ernie's least favorite like part of the show, I don't know. I'm about to ask him. I love it because it's kind of interesting, right? You get to see, you know, what's going on in the world of the movies. But let's get into the box office numbers. So this week, Civil War is still at the top of the charts at number one, coming in at $48 million. And then Abigail is still at number two. Is this the right daily? I just want to make sure. Yeah. Yep. Abigail's still at number two with 12 million. Godzilla versus Godzilla X Kong is at number three at $173 million. And then number four, sadly, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is at number four. It's only brought in 11 million. Let me see what. I'm just curious because I really like the movie. Yeah, it's not really international yet. It's pretty low, guys. I say if you want a good Henry Cavill and what's his name, Alan Richardson movie, it's a good movie. I liked it. I'm curious though, did you guys see Civil War? What did you guys think of Civil War? Was it awesome? Was it worth it? I'm trying to see like how I could convince my wife to go. I think Jesse Plemons is a good draw, but she doesn't seem that into it. I'm trying to think what else comes out next. But Kung Fu Panda's at number 5. It's doing really well. Internationally, it's done $484 million, almost to 500. It's crazy. I don't know, guys. Have you guys seen that? I haven't watched that one yet. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is at number 6. And Dune Part 2 still at number 7. And then we got Spy X Family Code, which I think is that Crunchyroll anime. That one is at number 8. Number 9 is at Monkey Man. And number 10 is The Omen. So I heard the first Omen is coming at number 10. But I heard that Sydney Sweeney's Immaculate and the first Omen are practically the same movie. This is what I heard. I'd have to ask Ernie to confirm. I don't know if he saw. He said he was going to watch Immaculate with his wife over the last week, so I'm curious to see what he thought about that one. But people are saying that the first Omen is actually better if you want a good horror movie. Not sure. I think this is like their first week out of. Well, it came out April 5th, so it's been out for about a month. But it's still hanging in the top 10 at 45 million. Is that? Oh! Speaking of, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta wait. Hang on, Ernie. Ladies and gentlemen, we gotta welcome to the show a man who knows. No, I gotta say, I look at this man and say, I know who you are, and I love you. Ernie, how you doing?
Hello, dude. I am doing fantastic, dude. Sorry for being late, dude. Being tardy. I don't like doing it, but I did it, dude. Can you hear me really well?
I can. You should turn yourself up just a smidge, just in case.
Okay, perfect. No worries. I will. It's such a weird, because I don't. Well, friends of the cast, you guys don't know this, but I will give you guys a little heads up. So we have been having this weird audio issue when I record with this particular software, and I had to switch out from my PC, which is like my main driver, like daily driver, to my little Mac Mini that I have. And I just started using it right now, dude. Oh the process, Jace, I will tell you something.
It crazy.
Is, well, I just not, but it's like, dude, I had to I'm using an HDMI rather than my VGA or whatever, so I don't get 144 hertz on my monitor, just a regular 60 hertz. And I have to switch it out. I got to figure out a better connection because I don't have enough ports, and I have a little port the connector, but I guess that is not enough.
Sounds good to me. And if you're not an audio person, that means nothing to you. But I'm glad you, dude. This guy was trying all kinds of things over the week to figure out how to make it sound better. I think it sounds good. But let us know, guys, in the comments. Does it sound good to you? Is it coming in loud and clear? Hopefully. Oh, I see yeses in the chat. That's good. All right, Ernie, this was my quote for you. And if you guys have not watched the infamous Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver, we're gonna get into it. I was just going through the numbers real quick, and we pretty much got through the top 10. Ernie, did you have any thoughts on any of the movies that came out this week? You said you were going to go watch Immaculate. Did you ever go watch that this week?
I did. We ended up watching Immaculate the other day. It was me and my wife, and we didn't fall asleep, which is a good sign. It was an interesting movie. I was excited. I think might have been telling you, Jace, and I don't recall. Because sometimes I tell a lot of people a lot of things, but there's certain people that I really want to know this.
Popular.
No, it's not the popularity. It's just I just like to talk a lot. But I was telling, I think might have been my wife. I was telling her I was excited for this particular film because this is the one that people are saying, oh, Sydney Sweeney actually does a great job acting, and it's actually just her being an actress, right? It's nothing having to do with her boobs and stuff. You know how everyone always there's everything. It's always having to do with their boobs, right? So yeah. I was all right, that's cool. And we're watching the movie, and I was oh, this is kind of creepy. This is pretty interesting. And then at one point, she gets undressed and she poops her boobs up, and I'm there they are.
You're the
and there's nothing wrong.
No, go ahead.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, come on, there's nothing wrong with it. I was I didn't expect that to be part of this film, but you didn't see them full force, you know what I mean? But they were there, and I just thought it was funny because my wife had pointed it out. She's oh, look, boobs. And I was yeah.
That's funny. Dude, we're going to talk about her a little bit later in the show. But it's funny that you did. So I was telling the friends of the cast that the first Omen is at number 10 in the box office. And I've heard people compare that to Immaculate, saying that it's pretty much the exact same story, except that the first Omen is a better version of it, which I was oh, I wonder if Ernie heard anything about that.
I have not. I've heard the first Omen's pretty good, and I definitely want to check it out. I think we might end up going to watch it tomorrow. We're actually just funny thing. My wife was just asking me, we should go to the movies tomorrow, and I was yeah, we can go. But I was trying to figure out what movie to tell her to go watch because I really want to watch Abigail, but I also want to watch the first Omen. I really like Omen, the Omen movies. I forgot. I think it was 2016 or whatever, the remake one. Do you remember that one?
No, I don't remember.
No, I don't know what year, but it was one of the newer ones. And I think I saw that with my wife, girlfriend at the time, and I remember like really loving that movie, like really enjoying it. And she's like, "This is for you." What's his name? Damien. This is for you. And then she goes, and then you know what I mean? And then you're like, whoa.
You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here. I'm just glad the first Omen is beating out Shrek 2. It's just barely beating it out. So good for the Omen, you know. But yeah, dude, that was the top 10 for this week. Not too much. I was showing them Udio and how you can make like your own like AI songs, and I played them one of the songs I sent you for the movie podcast. I was like, it could be fun. But I was thinking, dude, we could literally, because I know we're going to talk about like some other topics here, like Deadpool, Wolverine, and stuff. It's like we could literally just make a song right now about Deadpool and Wolverine.
I know, I'm just gonna come out. That's so fun, dude. I really want to give this a try. I actually haven't checked it out yet.
But dude, speaking of, should we talk about Deadpool and Wolverine, or should we save it to the end?
Well, I want to know. Did you tell the people what you've been watching? How you been?
That's what I talked a little bit about. I talked a little bit about. Well, we can get into it. So, I was saying that there's a lot of good content out there right now. And let me add you back since there you are. So I finished Invincible, which was season 2, which is great. Really good, dude. I was so funny. Like I was not really into the first couple episodes. It was kind of like, it was good, but I was just kind of like, just let it, I kind of wanted to save it, but I got to come back to it, and then I got to a certain episode and dude just binged like the whole thing, just like all the way. It was really good, really well done. Finally finished Reacher 2 or season 2. That was really good too.
Dude, I forgot Reacher 2 had a freaking season 2. I totally forgot. Dude, I had finished it, I think, right when season 2 was gonna start. And I'm like, I'm gonna get into it the next season right off the, how you just jump into the next one. And no, I ended up I guess not watching. I don't know what the heck is wrong with me.
It's good, but like I think if you watch it towards the end of the day, there's a lot of dialogue in this season. So like me and my wife would get really tired, and like we'd be like, oh man, we can't concentrate. So like we started putting it on early, like right as soon as we had dinner or something, so we're still fresh, and like that seemed to work, because as soon as we got to like middle of the season, we just wanted to finish it. Like it was just like play the next one.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yes, there's certain, just like a certain, you have to have in a certain mood, right? A certain time. Dude, X-Men 97 too. I really recommend. It's getting really, really good. I think there's a break, or at least I'm all caught up. I don't know if there's a break, but I heard there's like a gap before the next bunch of episodes. But have you watched that at all?
No, I haven't, dude. I just keep hearing great things about it. Like I said last time, I just keep not making time for these things. I told you I've just been watching. Well, I'll get into what I'm watching, but
get into it, bro. Like, I want to hear. I want to know.
You want to know, or do the fans want to know? Or the friends? Sorry. So I've been watching One Piece still. I'm
tired of this. Don't say it.
I know. I'm in episode 800. I'm not even.
No.
I'm not gonna bore you with
that. Is it good though? You're still enjoying?
I am still enjoying it. I'm like about to get to the next arc, and there's a lot of filler right now, and I'm kind of like done with it. Like I don't want to keep watching it, but I also am so intrigued by what's happening that I think I don't know if I said this in the last podcast. I feel like I did. I was talking about how 3 things were coinciding with each other.
Yeah.
Did I talk about that?
A little bit. Yeah.
The game, the One Piece, and then freaking the Shogun show. So I had like 3 kind of like samurai things happening in my life, and I was like, man, this is lining up really well in my life, and I was gonna keep doing that, but I haven't gotten into it yet. But
I'm excited for Shogun. Like the final episode dropped, right? So
today, right? Or was it yesterday?
It was like 2 days ago, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I haven't watched it, but I know it's done, so I'm excited to get into it because I just want to binge it. Like I know it's just gonna be like really easy to watch. I was also I ended up watching a few other movies. I ended up watching oh my gosh, what's that movie called? The one with what's her name? It's new. It's the Kristen Stewart movie where she dates the buff girl. I forget the movie's called.
It's like Love, Life, and Bleeding or something, or
Let Love Lie or something like that. But let me see, because I don't want to like.
I just remember the poster. It's like got a big old muscly arm, right?
Yeah. Let me see.
Love.
Let me see.
Life.
Oh,
Love
Love Lies
Bleeding.
Bleeding. Love Lies
There you go.
Bleeding. Yeah. That's a cool poster. I like that poster because it it leads you to believe that there's gonna be something way crazier happening. It kind of looks like remember 80s movies like kind of like
Buff
True
Armor.
Lies or something like that, like those posters. That's what it seems like to me.
Oh yeah, kind of like an espionage action.
Yeah, like
thriller
something's
type
gonna
thing.
happen. I mean, it is not that. It's completely different. But it's a good movie. I enjoyed it. It has
There are buff arms. Look at these buff
yeah,
arms.
she's pretty buff. But it has a really cool scene in the beginning where she's like dangling over this like overpass or something, and she's just doing pull-ups. And I was like, dang, if only I could, you know what I mean?
You're feeling inspired. You're like, I gotta go.
I felt inspired to do it. I went to the monkey bars with my daughter at the park, and I just was doing it in the monkey bars, but my legs weren't dangling. I was just picking myself up. I felt like I was doing it. I'm just kidding. No, but
she was lifting you, or her legs. She was pushing you.
yeah, she's pushing me out. No, but so I saw this movie. I was actually pretty decent. I really enjoyed it. I thought I didn't think I was going to. Kristen Stewart's kind of Kristen Stewart always. I don't think she ever really changes.
Really?
Even not real. I mean, I don't know how many movies
she was really good as Princess Diana.
I was
thought
about
she
to say
did
that.
good.
Yeah, I think Princess Diana is probably the one role that I felt like
But she was still
a lot
kind of
different
Kristen
than
Stewart Diana.
yeah. She doesn't change really. Like she just does the same thing. Like I think they had an interview with her talking about Twilight and how she felt like she was, without saying cringy, but she felt cringy, like delivering certain dialogue, right? And I was like, oh, that's why you did it like that. But then you watch other movies and she still does that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's just a Kristen Stewart thing, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that's her way of acting. It's like that's her thing, and obviously people like watching her.
Signature, yeah, the signature.
Yeah, but it was a good movie. I recommend this one. It's a little different than what you think you're gonna get. You know what I kept thinking about, which is really random. I don't know if you saw this, guys. Friends of the cast on Twitter. I don't know if you guys have X or whatever, but there was this guy who they had posted, and he was at the movie theater watching this particular movie, and he had like a bottle of Jack Daniels or some sort of alcohol. He had like a little weed pipe or something, and then he had he had his like zipper down, and he just masturbated watching this movie. Did you see this?
I did not see this.
Yeah. It was a random like thing I saw, and I guess they got him or whatever. They got him. I don't even know how you get them. Like, what do you say? Like, this guy masturbated. They got him.
Would you just like tackle him like mid
no, he was already done. He was sleeping. It looks like in the image. Out? Whoever got the image of him like that, he was like they got him after the fact. So after the act.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
That's weird. I don't know.
I mean, there's like a lesbian scene in here, where they get into it, and that's probably why he did it. I don't know.
So, like, I don't know. I don't even know, dude.
Nah, you don't even add. I don't even add to that. I just wanted to tell you guys that story.
All right.
I think that's pretty much it. And then my wife had put on. It was like 90 Day Fiance or something the other day, and I was watching it. But I only glanced. It wasn't like I really knew what was going on.
Yeah, I think we're all caught up on 90 Day Fiance. Like she's seen all of it. We watched all the tell-alls, and now there's this new show called like Love in Paradise they're trying to push. But we started going back to like the Pillow Talk episodes. I don't know if you've seen those, where it's like they have other previous cast watch the episodes and comment on them. It's kind of fun.
That's neat. I do remember this.
I feel like that's what we're into now. It's just kind of like that show you can just put on and like just turn your brain off, just kind of relax. But I don't know about that. Love in Paradise seems like they're pushing it too far because it's nobody we know. Usually they kind of mix some couples that you kind of follow along with, but this one seems like it's all new cast.
What was the one, Jace, where they went to go to therapy and they were in an island or something? Dan, what was the episode where 90 Day Fiancés and they were in an island and like it was like
therapy? It's called like The Last Resort, I think.
Last Resort?
Yeah.
Oh, Last Resort. You're right. Yeah, she said it was The Last Resort. You're right. I really liked that one. I did. I enjoyed that one. I don't think I saw the last part of it, maybe, but I did enjoy it. And I thought it was, I don't know. Sometimes, like mindless, stuff is fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I like the drama.
Have you seen some of the newer stuff though, with like with Ed shows up later, like in I forget what it's called. It's like 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After or something.
Hmm.
And Ed's in the season after The Last Resort. And dude, he always brings up The Last Resort. He's like, dude, it changed me, bro. It changed me.
I mean, yeah.
Like,
I mean,
so much growth. I'm like, did you?
I did it. Wasn't he gonna get down with like one of the guys he was gonna like fight him or something? Do you recall?
Yeah,
this?
dude. There's a
Yeah.
bunch of drama in that show. It was fun though. It was fun having them all like. It's kind of like Big Brother or something where you kind of put them all into the same room and see what happens. So yeah, it was fun. It was a fun time.
But I want to get into something else that I've been watching. I watched this trailer now a few times, Jason. I wanted to gather your thoughts on this if I can. Did you go who? So
Oh. Who?
who? We're talking about Deadpool 3, right? Or Deadpool and Wolverine, new trailer. Dude, what'd you think?
It was good, dude. Let me see if I can pull it up since we're talking about it. And I was not prepared.
I feel like I never get you prepared. I always catch you with your pants down, as they say.
I have it at the very bottom of our show notes, so I'm scrolling down to find it right now. You catch me with the pants down. So the latest. I have a little. Do you want to read it? Why don't you read it?
I can, dude. Hold on one sec. Because I'm not on my freaking PC, none of my stuff is signed in.
Oh.
And now I have to do verification, so you got to read it out. But Jason, you know what I was laughing at you the other day? I haven't listened to our episode in quite some time, but like I just don't listen to every episode now. But I listened to the latest one, and then you say I forgot fun and something, and then that's what they say about you. Do you remember this?
Fun and sun? No.
Oh man, it was something silly, dude. I wish I could remember. It was like, oh man, it was like, whatever, doesn't matter. Continue, please continue.
Tell me.
I don't remember what it was. I don't remember.
All right, it's fine.
Okay.
So let me read the synopsis here. So, oh, am I sharing the wrong screen? I am. Here we go. That's my notes, guys. Look at that. Look at those sweet notes. Okay. Let's discuss. So the latest trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine has the fans buzzing with its bold departure from the family-friendly Marvel Cinematic Universe to a more R-rated experience, showcasing the raw, edgy humor of Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Set to hit theaters July 26th, this film marks a significant shift as it embraces its R rating with plenty of profanity, dark humor, and action-packed sequences. A stark contrast to the typical PG-13 superhero films of the MCU, the trailer teases the involvement of the time variance authority that we see in the Loki series and introduces new characters like the TVA agent Paradox, who is Matthew McFadden from Succession, and also the villain Cassandra Nova, played by Emma Corwin, which I didn't know she was Princess Diana in The Crown. I don't know if you saw that one, but it says the film. Oh, you have? Nice. I didn't recognize her, but the film not only explores Deadpool's continued legacy post Disney's acquisition of 20th Century Fox, but also creatively nods to the old studio, cleverly integrating elements like the half-buried 20th Century logo, reminiscent of the iconic scenes from Planet of the Apes. And as the film gears up for release, it promises a refreshing, irreverent addition to the superhero genre. So, dude, how great was it to see Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine, dude? I loved it. I just wanted to share this little tweet real quick. I think Culture Crave posted it, but it's been 24 years that we've had Hugh Jackman play Wolverine, dude. 24 years. It's freaking awesome. Look at all these sweet pictures.
the fourth one looks sweet, dude. What's up with that?
That's the third one, no? Or no, this is from the game. This is him from the game. That's why it looks like,
what is that? I didn't even remember that game. I played X-Men Wolverine Origins. That game is awesome. It's a really great game.
Oh, this one, yeah. I think that's Wolverine Origins, dude. I guess this came out right after the Last Stand for the original 3. This was like the game you could play through. I never played it, but
dude, he kind of looks like Robin Atkins now, or
yeah,
Rowan
a little
Atkins.
bit.
You know what I'm talking about? Fucking Mr. Bean.
Yeah, he's got that little Mr. Bean like. But yeah, he was in Apocalypse and Logan, Days of Future Past, dude. I was excited, bro. Like just seeing him back on screen, and then the quips. Like he was getting some of those sweet quips that usually like Deadpool leaves for himself. But he's like, "Hey, Peanut." And he's like, "Don't bother me, lady." He's like,
yeah,
just loved it, dude. You get right back to
really
it.
good.
It's like, "Don't bother me, lady." But what'd you think, dude? Did you like it?
I really liked it a lot. I was telling my wife because I had so when it dropped, I usually like waiting for certain movie trailers because I like her reaction, and so we ended up watching this one together. And she had looked down at this one particular moment, but when I'm sorry, Ant-Man's helmet, and they're using it
Oh
as
yeah,
a base,
yeah.
dude. And it opens, and you're like, "What the heck?" Like it was. I thought that was really cool. It's like
That
really
was crazy. That was very like odd moment because you see like the skull, right? It's like there's a skull in there, so it's obviously Ant-Man's body or somebody was in Ant-Man's suit. But dude, like seeing him with like full on like the suit, and then everybody was freaking out because the sleeves.
I know
No
the
sleeves.
slaves. Freaking! It's not like he says. What did he say? The slaves.
It sounded like he said the slaves. What was his name? I forget the guy's name.
I don't even know that dude.
I listened to that multiple times. Like, what was he saying?
Yeah, I think if I had not told you what he had said, I think you would have believed what was written, right? Because I thought the same thing. I didn't know.
This
But
guy's guns.
the sleeves, yeah. There was a lot of little things that were in the trailer that I thought were pretty cool. Like we got like a look at a few of the characters that are going to be joining the roster, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it is just pretty cool. I thought that was pretty neat.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, let's see if we can get to the. Okay, so wait, where is it? Here? Oh no, it's later on. Like right here, they show actually quite a few characters. Like I didn't even realize. So Callisto is this one here on the left. She was in The Last Stand. I think that's the last time we saw her. And then this is the Ansel, this little red dude. And I think he was in X-Men First Class, right? So that's the reboot. So like we obviously know like there's going to be characters from different types of X-Men. We had Lady Deathstroke right here in the front. She's the one with like the long spiky fingers. I think she died in X2. I think she only lasted like just a tiny little bit. And then the guy crouched down over here supposedly is Toad, which we saw from, the original X-Men. You remember Storm's famous like, what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning?
Yeah. That's oh my gosh, is it Daniel Park or something like that? He's the guy that does Ray Park. He does Darth Maul as well, right?
That's right. Yeah, he's played by Darth
There's a
Maul.
particular moment I freaking love this when he is Toad. I don't know if you recall this. I don't know how well you remember his scenes, but he's like fighting them, and then he does a little dance. He goes ding 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 ding. You remember? And they had a little jingle.
Oh right,
a little prance.
Yeah, and he does like a little, and he's like hopping, trying to be like a toad. I think doesn't he also have an appearance like in Days of Future Past? Doesn't he come back for like a little bit, like in like
Not
one
that
scene?
I recall, man. I don't remember that. I don't think so. I was actually just watching clips of that movie recently, and it's the one where I'm really bad with names, but the last guy, the boss, right, the main bat villain, and
which one?
For X-Men Days of Future Past, or I mean Future Past, First Class. I apologize.
First Class is Magneto, no?
No, because it's the guy that he kills his mom, right? And he's like,
I don't even remember who the bad guy is.
Remember the guy? Oh, he's Kevin Bacon, I believe.
Oh yeah, and then what was he trying to do? He was trying to become a mutant or something.
No, he was a mutant.
Or he was a mutant? Oh, that's right. He got the. I don't know. It's been so long since
I haven't seen it in a while. I just remember that Magneto in the end kills him, right? And like, freaking what's his name? Professor Xavier. He's like holding on to him, like with his mind. He's telling him, he's all, don't do this, Eric. Don't do this, Eric. And then he's like, he grabs that dude's like helmet because he's the one that creates the Magneto helmet that protects him from, Charles is mind control. And he's like, don't do it, Eric, don't. And then he like puts it on and he can't hear him anymore. And he's like, I know you're still in there and you could see me. And he gets a quarter, dude. It's the quarter that I think he had.
Oh, right.
In the camp.
Flings it over. Yeah.
He like throws it at him slowly and it goes through his head. It's like, it's such a great scene. Like that's a great movie.
Still a great movie. Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't continue to do movies like that. I felt like the next one started getting, they changed a little too much.
Yeah, but it was, dude. It was a great. I thought that was a great reboot. But then I loved Days of Future Past when they all came together, right?
Yeah,
and you had the two Charles like talking to each other. And,
that
like,
was pretty neat. He's like, I don't want your future.
I don't want your
And
future.
he's like crying. And
They're so, dude. They're so good. They're both so good. And putting them both together, it was, oh, dude, it's just.
So it's pretty dope. I want to tell you my little theory, or not my theory, but in the trailer, I want to talk a little bit about the trailer. But in the trailer, they talk about Logan is a variant who like sort of left his own world, left it to die. Right? That's what they say.
He let down his whole.
Yeah. So like he essentially left. So I'm wondering what happened, because I don't know if you guys recall the movie Logan, but in that movie, Charles Xavier kills all the mutants. That's essentially what they lead you to believe, because he does his little, like, I guess he has like a, what is it, like a seizure,
His little mind powers, and shook him like a dog.
Yeah, and he does he has a seizure or something really bad, and he kills all the mutants. Like he like taps into them like really, really crazy. And then I don't know if they're basing it off of that, is what I'm wondering. But I doubt it, because I don't think
I heard someone say that they thought, remember how in was it the third movie? Was it First Class? The Last Stand, I think, when Jean Grey's becoming the Phoenix, right?
Oh yeah.
And then there's that scene where he doesn't want to kill her, but he ends up having to because she's becoming too powerful, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They were saying like, what if he doesn't, because he loved her so much, like he just couldn't do it, because that was like a hard moment for him. Like what if he, in this universe, that's what lets him down, because he doesn't kill her, and so she just becomes too powerful and just wipes out everybody. And like, I don't know. There's a lot of theories, dude. There's a lot of ways it could go. I'm excited for it, dude. This lady, I don't know too much about her. Like, supposedly it's supposed to be like the sister of Charles Xavier or something, and she can control people with her mind, and she's like a evil character, but she's really dangerous, right? So they have to go. So maybe I'm curious how they're gonna spin it, right? Because they're gonna try and either reboot or rewrite some of the timelines. And so are they gonna say like she's the doing of it, like she's the one that caused all the continuity errors, and they're trying to rewrite it? I don't know how it's gonna go. They didn't give us too much though.
I'm curious to see what, because you said that they're gonna like do like the rewrites or whatever. I'm wondering if like it's gonna fall in line with like the Marvel stuff that we're watching now, like if it's gonna land there.
True, dude. That's the great thing about this trailer, right? Is they gave you just a taste. They really didn't show you much, right? They showed you one new set piece with the Ant-Man helmet and the tease of that villain, and that was it, dude. Like, there's so much more that they can do that they're not showing us. So it could be. I think there's a lot of possibility of some really fun stuff that we just haven't.
I like the little dog. Look at him.
The dog pool, dude. I can't believe we actually got dog pool. This is such a sweet little scene.
Look at his little shoes.
And like the trailer, he's got that long tongue. He's like licking the side of his face, and Wolverine's just looking like, ugh, look at this guy. I love it, dude.
Supposedly they have like so.
It looks
right
like
now they talked about. I think there was a list on Twitter that I had seen, and it was like all the characters that are going to be part of the thing. And I saw one was going to be Kid Pool, and obviously they have Lady Pool, right? Or was it Lady Pool, right? And she's right. And a lot of people were saying still it's Blake Lively, but nobody knows if it's really going to be her or not. I'm wondering why it's been so well hidden, right? Because we even got that Gambit's going to come out, and it's going to be Channing Tatum, right? Like it was like that thing where they made it seem like, oh, this is actually going to be.
Yeah, that's true. I
don't know if you remember when they had released the movie Solo, the Han Solo movie.
Yeah.
So when that movie had come out, they had gotten one of the actors that plays Darth Maul, I think in the animated series, to come in and be Darth Maul at the end. Do you recall this?
Wait, no. Oh, yes. I remember this.
It was with comes out in the end.
The Game of Thrones girl, right?
Yeah, with the Game of Thrones girl. I forgot her name. Emily something.
Emilia Clarke.
I don't want to say yeah because I don't remember.
I think it's Amelia Clark. It's your Dulce's name, but it's spelled with an E.
Oh, Amelia Clark. You're right. Yeah. So Amelia in that one, and the guy comes out and he's like he's Darth Maul, right? And then the way that they brought him in, that because they were talking about an interview or something, like he was brought into a car and then they would freaking put a blanket over him and they would drag him into the scene and like no one knew who he was. That way there was no spoiler. So I'm like, I wonder if they got freaking like Blake Lively to like do that. They just freaking covered her up and they like basically put her in a body bag, dude. So they don't know what's going on.
Maybe, dude, that'd be crazy.
I want like I want even like sometimes I want like not even Kevin Feige to know. You know what I mean? Not even the heads.
Right, like only Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman.
And then they record his face going like, what? You know what I mean? Like
that becomes the thumbnail of the YouTube video. Dude, I think the thing that we have to realize too is like Ryan Reynolds has a marketing company, right? So I can imagine he's really good at controlling what gets leaked out, right? Like, because if he's the one that's kind of behind this whole thing, dude, I wanted to share with you. Did you see this little thing that he posted about trying to get Wolverine or a Deadpool Wolverine movie made? Like, did you see the little clip? I think I can.
No, I don't think I.
But dude, you should.
Stryker finally figured out how to shut
This is the
you up.
audio that's played in the trailer. Because he says, "Hey, one day."
Oh, from the original movie, right?
Me. Don't scratch.
It's like a little.
Just cleaning up the timelines. Look.
But he says this is the line that you hear in the trailer, right? Like when they're saying, "Look, there's eventually
you're gonna hang up the
there's gonna be a lot of
claws.
people sad."
That's gonna make a lot of people
Remember the
very
teaser,
sad.
the trailer?
Huh?
But one day, your old pal Wade's gonna ask you to get back in the saddle again.
So he posted this clip, but then somebody stitched together like all the different times when he was being interviewed, and he's like, "Yes, I really want this Wolverine and Deadpool movie to get made," and he's like, "I don't know, I think I've passed my time." Like, I don't know if we get flagged, but
at some point, I felt like I
like
missed, my window
to do Wolverine.
to have Deadpool and Wolverine
over.
working
Like,
together.
he did Logan.
Maybe one day there'll be a Deadpool 3. Maybe they'll call it Wolvie Pool if Hugh Jackman would ever get it together and decide to put the claws back on.
It is. I'm trying to get him to play Wolverine again, and he just won't listen.
What
the only
if
bad
this
habit
is
he has
already
not playing Wolverine again?
Is this his marketing
Hold on.
machine?
Yeah,
right?
exactly. What if this is all marketing? Because
This is
what
so
if this
many
already
years
planned.
of-
Well, I mean, a lot of things are planned.
I would like
with
him to
years. It
do that.
isn't
That'd
like
be nice to see
it
him do that
happens
more.
like overnight, and you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
that's
they had
true.
been talking about it for quite some time, but they're like, how do we fit it in? And so they have to sell it to Kevin Feige, to Feigelicious, right? They have to figure
Yeah,
out
maybe.
where or how can we make this happen. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure they can afford to do it. Like Deadpool 1,
for
Deadpool 2
sure.
has made money. People will back up Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. Like they have and they will. So it's like I think this was all a marketing for sure. Yeah, you're right.
Maybe.
More time.
I would love to do a Deadpool Wolverine mashup at some point.
I don't know. It's so funny that he kept teasing it, and then we finally got it, dude. It's just like I feel like the thing that probably was the hardest to get around was the R rating, right? Because Deadpool's so R rated, and this trailer just sells it. Like, if you are not sure if this is gonna be a kids friendly movie or not, dude, this is like gonna be an hard R rated. It looks like they're gonna have a lot of fun with it, but yeah, man, I don't know. All the jokes are great, all the little bits were funny, and I can't wait to see like the actual. Like, I don't need any more. Do you need any more? I feel like I'm good.
Dude, I'm done. I'm here. I've been ready to watch it, dude. Honestly, like I want it to come out already. When is it out? Is it out in June?
It's set to be released July 26th. So a couple months. It's coming, dude. It's gonna be this year. Okay. The other thing I want to talk to you before we get to like some of these like heavier. Like, I'm just excited to talk to you.
Can I say something, dude?
Nah. Yeah,
please, do I have to? Did you see me pull my phone to the camera, or did you see my phone? I was going like this. It took me a while to answer. Did you see me doing that?
I didn't. What were you doing?
Well, I'm trying to because I don't have. So all
Are
my
you trying to log into?
I have to log into everything. So like my notes, my like Twitter, like everything that is essential for this. Like when I'm like talking to you, that I
Right.
pull up and stuff. Like for me, like I remember this, or I bookmarked this, and I want to talk about it or something. It's
So you're on your Mac right now?
yeah, dude.
See,
This is all new. So I'm like,
the
oh,
issue
dude.
was the Windows machine. It's another
We'll see.
win for the Mac.
I guess I love my Mac. I'm not. I don't hate it. It's just like I don't use it. But I'm gonna have to start. We'll see. But it's just like I have to log into everything, dude. And oh man.
Did you hear the talk about the Comic-Con footage that they're
Tell
saying
me.
that Wade in this universe he's a car salesman with
Oh, I heard. Yeah,
with
yeah.
Alan. Yeah. It's
Yeah, that's
Alan, right?
awesome.
I think his
Yeah,
name.
I think you're right.
I love that dude. I love
He's
that
sweet, dude.
they brought him in and like he's still
Yeah,
like,
I'm
friends
glad
with
that
him.
he didn't, because like in Deadpool 2, he's like, "Go home, Papa Bear." You know, it's like,
Go home, Papa. Dude, I was excited.
I told you, I think a few weeks ago, I told you I was watching Deadpool 2. Me and my wife had watched the original Deadpool 2, like the one that came out.
Not the Christmas special.
And then there was a Christmas one, right?
Oh,
I
okay.
ended up rewatching the Christmas one again, and it's good, but like they change certain scenes, and it doesn't work as well, bro.
Yeah, because isn't it supposed to be like the not R-rated version, right? It's supposed to be like
I don't remember.
the
I didn't
tamed
even
down
know
version
that,
for
to be
Christmas.
honest with you.
Yeah,
Really?
that's why some of the scenes are.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Because remember he kidnaps what's his name, Rick Savage? No.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, what the? And he's like, shh, this is for the kids. He's like, so that's why they toned it down for that.
I think yeah. So I want to say this because this is random, but I used to watch a show with Rob Delaney, the guy that plays Peter in Deadpool 2. And it was called Catastrophe. Have you ever seen this show?
Catastrophe,
yeah. It was a Prime original. It's on Amazon Prime.
Is it Catastrophe with a K or a C?
CATASTROPHE
show. Oh, it's a sitcom.
Yeah. It's a sitcom, yeah. It's a really, really good show. I watched this during, so there was like two shows this is random, off topic, but when I was doing jury duty, like all good Americans do, just kidding, like nobody likes jury duty, but I had to do jury duty once, and I watched this show with the guy from Friends. What's his name? Joey Tribbiani, whatever his real name is. What's his name? I feel like your wife's probably gonna get mad at me, and probably my wife as well.
His name is Joey, no?
No, his real name.
What's his real name? Joseph. Joseph Tribbiani.
Joseph Stalin. Do you remember when he tries to change his acting name? Joseph Stalin. His name is Matt LeBlanc.
Matt LeBlanc.
Matt
oh my gosh,
LeBlanc. I didn't even look this up.
Name.
I just came out of my head. But he had a show
good
too
job.
called The Writers or something like that. I forget. But it was a really good show, and I watched that during my time because I had nothing else to do but like wait in this darn room, waiting to see if I was gonna get chosen. And it took forever, dude. I was there for like, I don't know how long, but I ended up watching the whole season. That's how the episodes of that show, and it was really great. And then I started watching Catastrophe as well. And I randomly put it on, and it was really, really funny, dude. I highly recommend this.
Interesting. Okay. I want to there's 4 seasons of it. I haven't even like really heard. I haven't seen the trailer, nothing. Dude, it got a 8.2 out of 10 on IMDb. So
yeah, they end up I'll give you the little premise, but Rob Delaney's character comes to the UK, and I think to London, and then he meets this woman who he meets within the week of a business trip that he's at, and he ends up getting her pregnant, so they end up having a kid. And so
that's
it's just
1 week, 2 condoms, 25 times.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so essentially you're just following their story and how they're sort of miserable being together, but like you start to find out like a lot of things change throughout their life, but just because they have this kid, they have to like change the way they are, and then you start meeting other people who are parents too, and it's pretty funny, dude. It's a good time. Recommend.
Nice. Good little shout out right there. Oh yes, let's get into. So, actually, I want to get into this real quick since we're here. Ernie, you had talked about the Office is getting a reboot, and I'm very curious about this because, dude, I love the original Office.
Yeah, dude. I saw that Peacock was ready to start doing a reboot with some fresh faces. And those who don't know, The Office was a sitcom that came out like in 2013, and it was a revival on NBC Universal streaming service. And eventually now it's on Peacock that they're going to start. Sorry, that was really weird the way I said that, but now they're now they're going to reboot it on Peacock because I guess it gained a lot of popularity during its time on Netflix. And they kind of they released like 2 of the cast members that I saw. Did you see if there was any more? I had just seen that they had Sabrina Impiaccio, and I'm not saying, I hope I'm saying
these
that
are the only 2 that have been announced. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And she's like known for like her role in like The White Lotus. And then
the most recent season, with The White Lotus.
Yeah. And then we also got Domhnall Gleeson, which is he's from Star Wars. He's what's his name? General Hux. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
He's a sweet dude. He also came out. Didn't he come out in Peter Rabbit? No, not Peter Rabbit. He came out in like Hop or something like that, like one of those like kids movies. You know what I'm talking about?
Or Paddington? No, one of those, right? Yeah,
it wasn't Hop. It was
kids movies.
Oh no, was it Hop? Oh no, Hop is that other. It's freaking Cyclops. Yeah, so I think he came out in Peter Rabbit. I don't know.
You're right. What's his name? Donald Gleason.
Who?
What else has he been in?
Oh my gosh, James Corden is in this movie.
Oh, he's in About Time with.
Oh yeah, he is.
Adams. Yeah. Oh, he was Peter Rabbit.
Yeah, he was. He's Mr. Jeremy Fisher. I remember him being in this movie. Dude,
he was in
James Corden is Peter Rabbit. Why?
James Corden was the voice of Peter Rabbit. You remember this?
Why? No, I didn't watch.
Heavily promoting this, dude.
I don't really watch James Corden, but that's cool.
Yeah, well, he was in The Revenant. He's been in a lot of things. I mean, it's a familiar face. I'm trying to think of what like he's most well known for. It might be he was in Harry Potter, dude. What was he in Harry Potter?
He was in Harry Potter? I don't remember that.
He was in Rise of Skywalker and Rise of the Resistance. I think he's been in. Yeah, he was in Harry Potter and the Escape of the. No, that was a video. He was in Deathly Hallows. Let's see what he. Oh, it's Bill Weasley. That's where I know him from.
I didn't know that, dude. Oh, that's right. He's the wolf, right? I think he dies at the end.
Yeah, he's Bill Weasley.
I remember that. He's a brother.
He's the brother, yeah,
of the twins and Ron.
Dude, he's been in a lot of like big franchises. Kind of like snuck his way in there. Not snuck his way, like he earned his way, but it's like he slid in under the radar, right? He didn't get like a ton of like, Donald Gleason like star power. Like he didn't.
I think Star Wars was supposed to be that, but obviously those movies,
True. We know what happened with those movies.
Yeah, we do. And I'm not gonna get into what happened with Star Wars, but I think that he was supposed to be a way better character, and he was written to not be, right. Like at the end, he's like, "I'm helping the resistance," and it was so stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, let's just read this. I haven't read this. So Greg Daniels' Office spinoff / reboot / revival. So I heard that it's going to be an Office that's in the same universe, right? But it's not directly tied to the Office. That's what I heard. But it's funny, they're just calling it like it. They're not quite sure what to call it yet. Spinoff, reboot, revival.
Yeah, because it says it's like he said. It says Greg Daniel had proposed 2 creative directions for the reboot: lost episodes that mesh with the original series timeline, or a modern day setting that reflects the current Office dynamics and technology. But then that's what they said, right? But I had seen, like you said, that there was one, but they were trying to do it like you said, like it was like in between the Office, so that it doesn't mess with the continuity of the last show. And it was supposed to be in the middle where like it introduces even the characters that had left and they were like brought back, and then you kind of see where they went or something like that. I don't know if you read that.
I think it just take place in modern day, but like those characters from the original Office still exist in that world. So like we could run into them for like later on in their lives.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they're going to go with a lot of like the kind of like the, because the way that the story ends, right, for them, I'm wondering if they'll show you what happens to them after the fact. You know what I mean?
Spoiler: they all die. No, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Imagine.
I think that I don't know if it's, I mean, I'm really bad with names, but one of the main characters of The Office, the guy that goes, I think you should be whatever, that dude that spills all the freaking, the chili beans in the freaking office. What's his name?
Talking about.
He's like the big dude. Brian, Kevin Malone. Remember Kevin?
Yeah, it's Kevin Malone. But what's his?
He's I drove all the way. I remember when because they think that he's mentally ill. I forgot one of the characters.
Oh right, and he's everything he's saying is playing along with it.
Yeah. And he goes, he's like, I drove all the way here from home or something like that. He's like, oh, you did.
He's like,
and he's all,
good for
yes.
you.
He's all, I like her, the way he talks. But apparently at the end, now I might be wrong, but I think they were talking about in one of the podcasts that he has, that he was saying that at the end, Kevin Malone, the character, ends up becoming the richest out of the bunch. Like he becomes the most successful because he was smart enough to, I think he buys a bar and he does like something with the money that he's given that like makes a theme thing about it, and he becomes the most wealthy out of all of them or something like that.
That's awesome.
I forget how it goes. Don't quote me on that, guys, but definitely look into this. I should have pulled it up, but it was just a random.
He kind of stumbled his way to success or something like that.
Yeah. Like he's like the smartest basically out of the whole bunch. But it's a good show, dude. I ended up.
That's a really good show.
Like one time, like I ended up just watching it every day, and that's how I caught up because our brother-in-law, Danny, he freaking loves this show.
Oh yeah, he watched this like religiously for a while, right? Like that Parks and Rec, and like I want to say, what's that other one? Community. Or were you? I think you were more big on Community.
No, he's watched Community too, but I think the big dude, the show that I live with my brother-in-law, but randomly I'll go in his room, ask him something, or I'll go to the garage because he's to the door, but he's always watching. Everybody Hates Chris, like right now. That's what he watches a lot, and every time I go in, it's his comfort show. And every time I walk in, I'll stumble in, and then I would talk to him, and then I just go like this.
You want to watch?
I started watching the show because it's a good show. If you guys haven't watched Everyone Hates Chris, it's a really good show too. It's really funny.
I've only seen like a couple episodes. I should go back and watch it.
You should check it out. I keep going really, really. Like I'm trying to sell everything.
You're like, it's a really good show.
We
know,
like
Ernie.
I know. Relax, guy.
I was trying to think one of the movies you're like, it's a really good show. No, anyway. Really good show. You're usually pretty good at those. Like you get into those shows and you get into them like hard. Like
I do. I just started watching Community again, dude. That's one thing I didn't even tell you about.
This guy loves Community.
I do. It's a funny show, especially the first few seasons. They're pretty darn funny, dude. I was watching one with I don't know about Community. Sorry, going on a rant, but freaking Pierce, the freaking Chevy Chase. There's one where Troy, which is Donald Glover, sneezes like very femininely, is what they make fun of him. It's like whatever. Like, and then so Pierce is teaching him how to sneeze, like quote unquote a so-called man, right? And then he tells him, he's like telling him the different sneezes, and then one of them he goes, I could go and I could bring him in and maybe I won't sneeze, but I have that power. Or I could, and he goes, and then
he goes, sounds like a really hard, like masculine.
And then he goes, I could do a sneeze that really drives a point or whatever. And he goes, I think the Bears are gonna take it this year. And he goes, oh gosh, did you hear that? That was a pretty good one, huh?
What's the name of the show that the writers of The Office? Oh, Upload. Did you ever watch Upload?
No, you told me about this. I didn't want to get into that.
The first season was really good, but the second season I fell off, and I'm wondering because I think obviously the writers for the new Office, right, are gonna like because the Daniels were the ones that created like the US version of this Office, like that we know, the American version, right? But then they went on to do Upload, and I guess Upload's probably done, right? That's why they're coming back to this.
Probably. Assuming now they're freaking.
They're free to
be doing both. I apologize.
Yeah, dude, that was a fun like a little experiment of a show, dude. Upload was pretty interesting, thinking like future wise, like how to preserve yourself if you die, like get upload to the cloud type of thing. and all the mayhem that could ensue. I think it was a good break for them, kind of a palate cleanser. But I'm excited, dude. Like if they can do this well, but it's gonna be so difficult because The Office is so beloved by so many now. Like this is like even like the younger generations have discovered like how great the show is. It says, for now, we know that the Daniels who created the version of the U.S. Office and other beloved sitcoms like Parks and Rec and King of the Hill. I didn't know they did King of the Hill.
I didn't know about King of the Hill, but Parks and Rec, great show.
They have been developing some version of a show that's set in the same universe as the Dunder Mifflin Paper Company, and that's pretty much all we know. The last month, it was reported that Nathan For You, or that was the co-creator. Did you ever watch Nathan For You? The one where he's doing like all those like experiments with the businesses and stuff.
Yeah, I've watched a few episodes, but not like the whole season. But
Co-creator of that guy, that Michael Cohen, who's the co-creator of Nathan For You, is going to be joining the team to help bring the show to life. So it's gonna, dude. They're getting a lot of good people in place for this. I'm excited, dude. The Sabrina, I can't say her last name, Impaciatore. She was like I want to say the hotel owner or the hotel manager for the White Lotus, and she did a pretty good job. She's not that well known. I think that's the key, right? You got to get people for the Office that are not like A-list stars. I mean, Steve Carell became an A-list star, right? But I don't think anyone really knew who he was when he first started that show, and like that kind of was his breakout role. Dude, that guy's had quite a career as well. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I think this is going to be pretty cool. Any other thoughts before we move on to our next bit of news?
No, I was trying to look up how would you say her name, and I think it's Italian.
Impaciatore.
Yeah, so I think you have to say it like that. But you also have to put your hands up like this.
Impaciatore.
Impaciatore.
That's a sweet little name. Sabrina Impaciatore. I'm sorry. If I'm butchering it, I apologize, guys. Dude,
You're the butcher, dude. You're the butcher.
I'm the butcher. Dude, I want to talk about this, though. We got to get into this. Did you watch this yet?
Dude, I haven't even watched the first one. And I remember when we had first talked about this, I was kind of excited because we were getting something that was going to combat Star Wars. And that's always awesome. Like, I still believe that should happen.
Yeah, we were like, this is going to make them increase the quality of Star Wars because it's going to be that good.
Because it's going to be that good. Because the way it was oversold to, like, it was overhyped. It was sold to us a certain way. And then, dude,
You didn't watch the first one?
I did a little bit.
Oh, you did watch the first,
but I didn't finish it.
Oh, that's right, dude.
I
remember we were hearing this is gonna be samurais in space.
Exactly, because that's what he was talking about for Star Wars. That's why it was sold well
like
to
7
us.
samurai.
And I remember thinking, like, wow, Akira Tori, freaking what's his name? Oh my gosh, Kira Kurosawa.
Yeah.
And
Kurosawa films.
I was like, oh man, like what else could you do like that could top Star Wars, you know? And man, this wasn't it.
It was not it, dude. I think the audience spoke because the first one got, what was it? The first one got a 21% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and dude, this one is at the 16% critic score. And let me just so Zack Snyder's latest Netflix film, Rebel Moon Part 2: The Scargiver, has unfortunately received the lowest ratings of his career. With a mere 16% score on Rotten Tomatoes, the sequel continues the saga of Korra, portrayed by Sofia Boutella, which I like Sofia Boutella. I don't think she's quite like leading the team in this role. I don't know if it's the writing or what, but I liked her in other things. I think she's done good work, but her and her rebel allies fight against the oppressive Imperial Empire. Imperial. It's very close. It's very, despite Snyder's grand vision of crafting a sci-fi epic comparable to Star Wars, both this film and its predecessor have been poorly received, failing to resonate with critics and audiences alike. The first film, Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, scored slightly higher, but still low with critics and audiences. Despite the setbacks with the critic scores, Snyder has ambitious plans for the Rebel Moon series to hopefully expand into 6 film series. The future of these films hinges on the performance on Netflix and how well the upcoming extended director's cuts are received. So he wants to do like extended cuts for all of these. And he keeps saying that the extended cuts are like a parallel universe. Like they're nothing like this, like these films that we're getting. And I'm like, how much? It's the same footage, right? It's going to be more footage, but still have that same footage. Like how much different could these be, right? Yes, he did prove us all wrong with the Snyder cut for the Justice League film, which I thought was much better than the first one. I think everybody loved that one much better. That was like a crazy, what was it, 3-4 hours of a movie. But still, I thought he did a good job. I don't know how, like, what do you think? Do you think these are like, there's a chance that there's a really good cut of both of these movies?
I don't know. He keeps saying that for like everything that he's made. And possibly, right? I don't know if the reason that these movies come out the way they do and why he feels the need to like change them is because whoever is housing these films, like Netflix and or whatever company is like paying him to make these films, like do they tell him, no, we need it to be like this? Or are they kind of undermining the kind of director he is, and so he's never able to realize his film the way he would want to? Or is it like, oh, now that I made the film, I know that I should have done it this way? You know what I mean? Like that's what I keep wondering, because he keeps saying that. I think he wanted to change Sucker Punch the other day. He was talking about it on a podcast or something like that. Zack Snyder.
Oh yeah, he doesn't actually like Sucker Punch. He says that's like the film he hates.
Dude, that movie's awesome. I love that movie. It's a great movie. But I mean, it falls short in certain aspects of the film. But like, I thought it was a dope film, like really well directed, and has great cinematography.
Interesting
for me, but I haven't seen it in quite some time. But I remember when I watched it, I was like, I freaking loved it. I don't know if this is going to be any better. Like what is he going to add? Like, I think the other day, someone was like complaining about how he was using slow-mo so much in this film. That apparently it was like 19% of the film was like 20 minutes. So 20 minutes of the film was like slow-mo. I don't know how someone has done that, sort of like someone went out of their way to go count that, put that into percentage, but it was like 20%, I mean, 19%.
Well, he's good. I think he's good at framing and being very stylistic with his films. I think he's a lot of beautiful cinematography, and I think everybody will agree that that's his strong suit, right? Like he is really good at framing and lighting, composing a shot very well. I think the movie itself is very well crafted, but he always likes to throw a lot of symbolism in there. But I think it's just the story, dude. Like the way what we're getting in these stories is just not hitting. Like, I don't care about the characters. I'm not wanting to watch more of these people. And this one, I mean, slight spoilers, but she has a tiniest little bit of backstory, and I feel like she's painted in a light that's not really heroic. Like, it's like, why is she the hero? Remember in the first one, did I tell you about my theory about the first one and how they could have saved this?
No, tell me your theory. What is it?
So it kind of spoils the first one, but it kind of doesn't. But so the whole first movie is her banding the group together, right? She goes around and she collects the people for the mission, and this is supposed to be the mission. Like, the second part is like the mission, but there's a part at the end where she confronts the big bad, and they have a big face off, right? Like, this is the moment that the film's been building to. Thus far, we haven't had any sort of camaraderie or like bonding of the team. It's just been picking up the team, right? Like, it's just been like, okay, we need you because you have this strong suit. We need you.
You have this particular set of skills.
Yes, exactly. And I'm trying to like not spoil a whole lot, but
spoil it, dude. I mean, people aren't watching it, obviously.
Obviously, she's alive and well in this movie, but I thought what they should have done is they should have killed her. She should have been sacrificed at the end of the last movie. That would have been the key to bond them all together, right? She was the one.
She's the main character. Bro. How are you gonna do
I know, but
they should have done passed on to the other dude. Let me tell you what they should have done in the second one.
Gunner
Given her
should have been
shorter
the
hair,
hero.
made her bald. If you guys can, dude, I want you guys to clip that when I said this. And then yo,
Airball. That's
no,
good.
just
That's good.
but
Like, think about it.
Want,
Like,
I'm gonna, dude,
it would have.
Jace, I'm gonna watch this tonight. I'm gonna put this
Watch
on
it.
tonight. Not
You're
the
gonna
second
fall
one.
asleep.
I probably, but we'll see. I'm like really, really interested. I don't work tomorrow. I'm off, so I'm like, I'm ready to chill. I'm gonna have
There's
some
the most
some
beautiful
margaritas
scenes
I'm
of
gonna watch.
shucking wheat you've ever seen.
Yeah, I saw that, dude. I actually saw the clip. Is that Princess? Is that Princess Peach?
No, that's know who the guy in the middle is. The guy in the middle is from Princess Bride.
I mean, that guy's everywhere and
I know, dude.
Everything and all at once.
He's getting all kinds of roles.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he's a good actor. I like him.
was
Isn't
in
he
the,
also? Doesn't he? No,
the League of Unsavory Gentlemen or whatever that we just watched.
That's right. Unsavory Gentlemen.
I mean, what's it? Unruly camaraderie of unstately gentlemen. I don't know the word. You know the one I'm talking about.
I do. Last time he called it
movie.
the Mystery of Magic. The Ministry of Magic. Way off.
The Ministry of Magical People.
The Harry Kendrick Cavill movie. That dude, Carrie Ells, whatever his name. I can't say his name, but I always.
What?
What?
Are you talking about this dude?
Yeah, the guy that you said from freaking. No, not that guy. That's freaking Digimon Digital Monster. Or what's his name? Digimon something, right?
Digimon. Yeah.
Digimon. Yeah. No, the other guy, the king. He's right.
What's his name? I forget his name.
Carrie Elwes is his name. Carrie. No. Well, that guy. I know him from because I've watched Princess Bride.
Him.
No, I've known him. I watched Princess Bride a long time ago, but I know him from Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yes, that's
one of that's one of my favorite movies he's in, and it's freaking hilarious.
Where is it? Yeah, Carrie Ells. I can't say his name right.
Richard Lewis comes. Have you seen this movie or no?
Which
no. Have you seen Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember. Richard Lewis comes out. He plays Prince John, and then Roger Rees is the sheriff of Rottenham, and he comes in and he tells him, freaking Richard Lewis goes, Prince John goes, tell me the news in a good way, and then freaking because he's gonna tell him bad news. He's like, I don't want to hear bad news, so tell him, he wants you to.
What does he say?
Do it more lively. And then he goes, and Roger Reed, the sheriff goes, he's all, Robin Hood came for us, and he beat us up. And he's all laughing. I was like, why are you laughing, you idiot? But it's just really funny, bro. It's so stupid. But freaking Mel Brooks, bro, has some funny comedy, man.
Yeah, dude, that guy is awesome. Oh man, I have to go back and watch that. I remember it's because it's making fun of Prince of Thieves, right? Or Robin Hood.
Yeah, Robin Hood, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like shot for shot, some of it.
I don't remember the movie all that well. That's the one with Kevin Costner, right?
Yeah, they're making fun of that one.
I don't remember that movie all too well, but that's a great movie too. I remember I just saw our mother-in-law was watching it not long ago, and I was like, man, it was like the tail end of it. I was like, man, this movie's good, but I don't remember it. I haven't seen it since I was young.
You should watch that one, then go back and watch Men in Tights, and then you'll be like, oh my gosh, this is it. But it's Digimon Hansu. That's the one that plays Titus. I heard Titus has a great speech in this one. I still think we need to. I don't know, bro. Like I want better. That's all I have to say. Oh, I'm not gonna support you. Well, I want better because I think we do need a good Star Wars. But okay, the other piece of news that relates to this that I thought was funny was that Rebel Moon initially topped the charts when it came onto Netflix, the second one. It was less than half a week on there, and then Sydney Sweeney's Anyone But You dropped, and as the day after it dropped, like it dropped that night, and then on the Wednesday, and then the next night it was beating out Rebel Moon in the top. So I think it's not that popular. I think people were watching it initially to see what all the fuss was about, and then they're just like, we have no, like, I'm sorry guys.
Yeah.
I know Zack Snyder was saying when the first Rebel Moon came out that he's like, the numbers on Netflix were technically it was watched more times than Barbie, and I was like, well, it's at home, nobody had to go to the theater, right? And they just hit play, and like, I don't know, I feel like audiences were not into it. I was not into it. I think he either needs to really shine with these director's cuts, and then if that's the way forward, then just like forget the little, whatever these are. Like, don't give us these. If you know what I mean, like if the quality is that much better for Rebel Moon director cut, and like somehow he just amazes us with these 3-hour versions of these movies. I just can't see it, bro, right now. Maybe he's sitting there like in his chair watching all this and be like, I knew people were not going to like this. Like, I just made this for Netflix because they told me they
why bring it out?
Yeah, it's like, what's the point? I think people are going to be
there was this saying that when I was a fool, Jason, when I was going for as an art major, before I changed my many times my to get a freaking diploma or whatever, my major. Thank you. I couldn't think of that word. Wow. And that's why I don't major. There was one of my professors would say, and I've always loved this because it's very true. He would say, you're only as good as your last piece of work or your last piece of art or something, the way he said it. And I was like, he's right. Cause like people won't know your past work right off the bat. Like when you're showing them what you have now is what you have now. Right. It's like you're always improving in your artwork and stuff like that. And I was like, that's pretty much, I mean, that seems pretty right. Probably the reason with this guy, it's like he keeps trying to disprove what he's already created. Why not do a good job the first time? That's why I'm asking you. Is it, and again, I don't know if it's in interviews, he's like, man, Netflix didn't let me add 20 more minutes of slow-mo. And I think that would have made the movie that much better. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, he did, but what I think he did was he went back and like reshot some stuff and like did a bunch of CGI with the Justice League extended cut, like the Snyder cut. So I mean, it's possible that he has a lot of alternative footage, like it's alternative shots of certain things, and it weaves together a different story. I'm hoping, but
I feel like he's like one of the few directors, I'm sure there's more, that is like giving day one patches. Like video games.
That's what he's doing. Yeah,
like, how like games will be like, well, not back in the day where you just get a game and you were screwed if it was messed up, but it would, essentially most games would work really well, right? Not many bugs. Now you get a game and it's like first day you put it in, it's like, here's a big old update to like make the game run better. And it's like, why wouldn't it run better when I first got it?
Yeah, why didn't you just wait and give me that?
Exactly. Like, why isn't that not part of my package? It's ridiculous, whatever. But this is like what he's doing. He's essentially doing that. Like, he's giving us like these like updates. And like, and this goes back to the conversation of streaming, right? Where is streaming? Why is it popular? Why can't, what could it do? This is what it could do, right? Like, essentially they could keep remaking a movie until it's like, this is the final cut of what I wanted to do. And it's kind of ridiculous. Like, it's like, no, give me the thing that you wanted to give me the first time. Like, why do I have to wait? It bugs me. It's like the Spider-Verse thing where I always bring this up with, like, in multiple theaters, it was like a different whatever scenes in it. And it's like, why the heck do I want to do that? I don't want, and I don't have time to be going to different theaters to watch one darn scene. It's like, come on,
you could do it. But yeah, I understand.
No, you not even you.
What if
they
all showed up? What if they all showed up on like a director's or like a DVD, right, with all the alternate versions?
Dang,
like,
DVD, Blu-ray, my friend.
A streaming button that give you different options. I don't know. You know what I mean, though. Like the thing that I was thinking of is like,
sorry, go ahead.
Star Wars, right? Star Wars was established, right? Star Wars, like everybody loves the original trilogy was very well received. And I remember George Lucas was like, I wish I could have gone in and tweaked things because the CGI wasn't there yet. And like, he was like, I had these visions of little things I wanted to add, right? Patches, like you're saying.
But the movie was a classic, bro. He didn't have
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was already established as a classic.
Yeah.
This is something nobody knows.
Yeah, but that's the thing with the Zack Snyder thing is like he was reaching for the stars. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go on a rant, but like before this movie came out, we even saw anything of it, he was already talking. We're gonna make a game, we're gonna make an anime, we're gonna do. It's like, dude, give me a great story and then tell me that you're gonna give me all these things, because then I'm gonna want it, right?
Exactly. That's my point.
And that's the problem. It's like he didn't focus on. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a director. I don't work in that industry. I don't want to talk crap because but obviously, the proof is in the pudding, right? Like the movie isn't doing well. Something is inherently wrong. It's not us, right? I didn't do anything to this movie.
Right. We wanted it to be good.
We wanted. I was talking it up. Go back to the episodes. I was like, I hope, because I don't want any movie to do bad. I don't. That's stupid. Like, what do I gain from that? I'm an audience that
great content,
probably has the same same sentiment where like, we hate this freaking movie, and they get mad. Like, no, I don't care. It doesn't do anything to me. I'd rather this movie do really well and be like, man, we have a freaking rival to Star Wars. I love Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
let's freaking get something that's as good as it. And no,
it goes back to what you're saying with your art teacher, right? You're only as good as your last piece of art. Like, if this is a brand new piece of art, you need to come out with your best version of it. Like, you need to come out swinging with, this is my vision for this, whatever it is, right? If he's going on these podcasts and saying like, oh, don't worry, wait for the director's cut, you should have come out with the director's cut for the very first one, because you've already had 2 strikes now. Like 2 strikes and you're done. 3 strikes, you're out, right? So like, nobody's going to go back and watch these director's cuts because you've already fooled me once, fooled me twice, right? Like, people are, how is this possibly going to be any better?
So that's the one thing though. And I've not seen this happen with many films. Maybe I'm new to it and I just didn't pay attention, because I know there is probably movies that have done it, but Zack Snyder's popularity was stronger because of the Justice League remake or whatever that he ended up fixing, right? And people liked it a lot more, so they're like, wow, well, we got this, it was a lot better. Maybe he could have done a better job had he been given the time, the money, all that stuff. And so I think he's one of the few directors that people, when he does speak and say, oh, I can make this movie much better with a 3-hour, like maybe they like you said, I know, fool me once, fool me twice or whatever, right? But like, maybe some people are still in the mindset where, well, I mean, I'm going to get another 3 hours of this movie. Like, maybe they'll make it better. But it's like, what if it's 3 hours of the same thing? Like,
yeah, exactly. What if it's the same, just slightly longer and more painful? Yeah, I mean, you're right. He does have credit where credit's due. Where that director's cut, it was a rare case. Like, that's the first time that it ever happened where the studio gave him go ahead, like, to remake a movie. Like, that's the first time we've had something like that. So he does have that to lean on. But I still think, given what Netflix gave you, I don't know, maybe he's like tied down by Netflix, right? Maybe Netflix is tying his hand, like, we need a family version of this, and then we need a
that's what I'm saying. It's like, we don't know, but like, we were talking about this, and this is one of the next topics I believe we're going to get into, but we're talking about Rotten Tomatoes. Those tomatoes that are rotten, right? And in that topic, they're talking about how before they even like get a director or want to like get them into a particular film that they're gonna like film or whatever, they look at Rotten Tomatoes and what was their last big film that they did. And that is wild to me. Rotten Tomatoes, those tomatoes are rotten. I get it, they're a big platform, but like, not everyone shares that same sentiment. Obviously, we see the tomato score and like the people score, and it's always like, it's always off balance. Like, who do you trust? Like, which one are they looking towards? This is my thought process, because they mentioned it. I think I put it in the podcast notes here. I let me just look at it real quick. It says,
you want me to read the summary?
Yeah, no, just the thing. It says, well, I mean, go ahead and read the summary, but I wanted to read this little thing where it says the little note about the Rotten Tomatoes. But go ahead if you want to read something. You want me to do that? The thing? Okay. So it says, critical acclaimed is now gamified. Gamified, sorry, says one director rep. The Rotten Tomato score is the first thing people look at when I go pitch a director. It inevitably affects decision making around hiring a director. Offers an exec. When you hire a director, all you have is their past work and a meeting.
That's crazy.
So,
That's crazy. Right?
It just sounds like it's like they didn't do their I'm sorry. It's like they didn't do their due diligence to go watch a film. They're essentially going to a YouTuber to see if they liked it or not.
They're just looking at a number, right? They're just like, what's your number, basically? Like, are you a B? Like, what's your grade, right?
Exactly, and
like,
so
why not go back and watch their movies, right? Like, go back and watch the actual films. Like, can they handle?
Yeah. If they can,
you could be a terrible action director, but a really good like personal drama director, right?
Yeah, like, oh man, it bugs me because it's such a backward ass. I apologize, backward ass way of thinking. It's like if you're gonna hire someone to do a good job, go look at what their good jobs are, not look at someone else's rating of their good job. But again, I guess that I don't know. I think it's different for films, but I guess it doesn't work all the way because, like, you know, when you go to find someone on Yelp, you go to a restaurant, and then you're like, oh, this restaurant has 5 stars, and it should be great. But then also, like, you go to and it's not just this particular one, but for me and my wife, like, we can attest to this. Every time we go on Yelp and we look up an Asian restaurant, Chinese, Japanese, whatever, or Korean, their ratings are always low. And we know that if it's this particular low, there's something wrong with the people that are there, because essentially they're not the same culturally, so they don't treat you like other American restaurants do, where they just kind of like, I've gone to Korean restaurants where they treat me like they're like, okay, you want this and this and this and this, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine, and they just kind of give you, and it's freaking delicious. But they're just, their service isn't the same. You know what I mean? But
if you look at like Yelp, it'll be like terrible service.
Yeah, it's like
food is delicious. Yeah,
but the food is delicious. You know what I mean? But that's how it is. It's like that's what I'm trying to get at. Is like they could be like, man, they did a terrible, I don't know, superhero movie, but they did a wonderful horror movie. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's like James Wan. I always talk to you about this with this as well. Like, how did they figure out to hire James Wan to do a freaking superhero movie, Aquaman, that did really well? He was doing a bunch of horror films, right? They saw in those movies that he was able to probably, you know, control the actors, get what, you know, stay within the budget that he's given. You know what I mean? Like, there's like things that are, you know, there's more to filmmaking than just, oh, he's pretty good at doing these kinds of films, so maybe, you know, he got a really good score, so let's put him in this.
Yeah, it's just weird, bro. I was gonna read it says,
go ahead,
Damien Chazelle, his reflections on his film Babylon highlight the precarious nature of filmmaking today, where one flop can lead to what is known as director jail, limiting future opportunities significantly. This environment is tough, especially for upcoming directors who must now prove themselves repeatedly without error. Like, imagine, dude, imagine you coming out of art school and every single piece of art you make has to be a top seller, has to make you like tons of money. Like, that's not art, right? Art, it needs to be messy. It needs to be, you need to have room to explore and like try different things, and you're going to fail a bunch. And I feel like
there needs to be room for failure.
Needs to be and you gotta not fail fast, but it's a rare thing to get a Christopher Nolan, right, that just like hit after hit after hit. But he had a lot of movies before he got really big, right? Like, he had to try things, and like now he's like, you know, everybody's like, oh, I'll watch anything Chris Nolan puts out. But
yeah, you know, you find your footing, and I think with everything, right? And I always talk about this one with I've talked about this with you a few times, but the movie Logan, the Wolverine, right? Fantastic movie, probably one of the top like superhero movies that we've gotten. James Mangold did that movie, right? He had the The last
Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
That lovely Indiana Jones. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. Before he had done Logan, he had done the Wolverine, right? That's a 6.7 movie on IMDb.
Oh, right.
Not the
Completely
greatest.
different toned. Yeah, that's true.
Way different of a film. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't that great, right? A lot of people, it was not the best. It wasn't well received, I should say. And a lot of people talked crap about it. Gave him another chance. Look what he did. Right?
Indiana
Logan,
Jones.
fantastic movie. We don't talk about Indiana Jones, man. We're not talking about Indiana Jones. This is a topic.
But Logan was really good. Yeah,
Logan was an amazing movie, dude. It was an amazing movie. And then they ended up, they're like, well, he did a great Logan. Maybe he could do a great Indiana Jones,
I think he could have done a great Indiana Jones too. I think there was rumors that a better script was initially in the works. let's not go there though, dude.
Isn't that out of your mind? Isn't that always the rumor? It's like when something does bad, it's like
Short Round was going to show up. It was going to be amazing.
There was something that we could have done better. It's like it's always that. Like, why not? Why didn't you do it better the first time? My bad. Go ahead.
Do it better. Did I tell you that when the what's it called? What's the final one? The Rise of Skywalker? No.
Rise of Skywalker, yeah.
Is it the last movie?
Star Wars, right? Yeah.
Yeah. That right before the movie came out, the script got leaked, right? I don't know if did you see this?
I did not.
Oh, okay. So the script got leaked. I was all over the internet because I was like, they're gonna pull it off. Like I had complete faith that they're gonna somehow tie up all these movies. It's gonna be the best thing. Like if they had nailed that last movie, the trilogy could have been possibly saved. And I was like, they're gonna do it somehow. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I had hope. I had faith. And then, dude, the leak came out for the script of the movie, and I was sitting there reading it, and I was like, "There's no way, dude. This sounds horrible. Like, there's no way." And I was reading, like the way it was being described to me, and I kid you not, I went and watched it in the theater, and it was beat for beat what I saw, and I was just sitting there like, "No, they actually." It was like they did it. No, it was so bad.
Did you expect something so different?
I thought for sure this was a fake leak. There's no way this is becoming a film, and dude. Let's not talk about Star Wars, bro.
No,
or Indiana Jones.
No, you're fine. Every time we talk about these films and like the disappointment of them, I get it. It gets us in a mood, but there's always something in those films that still kind of capture what the essence of the original stuff is, but it never really fully realizes it. And I think that's the problem,
point.
because
you keep watching it because you want to find it. That's something that's not there, right?
Yeah, something that's not. I talked about this many times with The Matrix. Like that's another film that we
you just
dislike,
want to torture yourself.
I do. I torture myself a lot, but I watched The Matrix for like 4 times or something like that, trying to find. And there was moments, Jace, like I'm not gonna lie to you. There was moments of like, wow, okay, this is The Matrix. Like we have that little moment. Keanu Reeves is here. Carrie Ann Fisher is here. You know what I mean? Like you see it, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, what happened here? Like what's going on? Why are you? Stop it! What are you doing? I'm just kidding, like you're hurting it. Like it becomes that because, but again, it's like I don't know what we would want, right? Like I obviously we're not directors, but like what would we want?
Well, we want someone to respect the legacy of the movies, right? The content of the originals.
But like
you can't.
I get that, but like I think it's. I always say these movies aren't for us. Like they were making these films for the next generation, and because they were doing that, they ruined what we enjoyed. And I know there was like a lot of people are like, "Well, this isn't for you; it's for the new generation," kind of thing. And I get that, but it's like you can make something as good for the old generation that the new generation is going to appreciate. There's a reason that most of these movies has stood the test of time, right? Like I wasn't born when Star Wars: A New Hope came out. That was not even a thought, from my parents. And I watched that movie now, and I freaking love it.
Yeah.
I don't think my daughter's gonna watch Dial of Destiny and be like, "Man, I love that movie."
No, it's not.
I
It's not
highly
good.
doubt it.
Yeah.
Because it's not a good movie.
The reason why people keep going back and discovering old content is because those stories are they're good stories, right? They are stories that you would want to tell, pass down to your, like, dude, we just saw Lord of the Rings is gonna have the extended editions back into the theater. Why do you think? Why do you think they're doing that and they're not doing Rise of Skywalker?
Probably because they're
back in the
not doing well. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's true, but people will go watch those because they're good stories, right? They're stories that are worth telling. And I keep saying, like, make a story worth telling. And that goes back to this article, right? If you are just looking at whether it was a hit, there are great stories that you find in small movies, right? That didn't get that big old Rotten Tomatoes score, but it was a good story, right? I think when you do this, it's limiting the creativity, and it's limiting. You have to go through a bunch of stuff that is potentially not good, right? A lot of risks. You have to take a lot of risks to create something awesome. And when you get something like a Star Wars or a Lord of the Rings, it's a once in a how many movies, right? Because those are almost like, I want to say magic, but there's a miraculousness to it, right? Because so many things had to come together and so many things had to transpire to make that movie. And it all comes back to the story, bro. Like, it has to be a good story. Tell a good story. And I'm just going to, like, end it with this because I saw this on YouTube and I didn't know if this was real, but it's real, dude. Have you seen this guy's reaction to watching the Rise of Star Wars trailer or Rise of Skywalker?
No.
He Star Wars is his life. If you watch this guy,
That's
he
awesome.
is
I love it.
so excited.
Eric Butts, dude, I love that.
And he records himself watching it for the first time.
He cries, right?
He's crying. You've seen the clips, right? They replace this with different things, but this is him. Like, this is his religion, basically. This is the thing that makes him happy in the morning when he wakes up. He loves Star Wars. Imagine being so excited for this last movie to come out and just completely disrespecting the lore.
Did he? How did he feel about the end of the film? Do you know what his reaction
I don't know.
was? I never looked. I know. I've seen this.
Sad.
I've seen this clip.
Yeah.
I mean, see,
he's so hopeful. Look at the hope in this guy's eyes.
That's great.
Like,
that's awesome. I mean, this is the third of the last installment of the films. He probably he loved The Last Jedi. He probably does. And again, I wouldn't hate on it. It's just,
no, everybody hated The Rise of Skywalker.
yeah, but
I'm sure
we don't know. Maybe he loved it. Look at, he just yelled.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, like,
but maybe he loved it. Like I have a friend of the cast. His name is Wayne, and he told me, he's like, he went to Star Wars Land and he told me, man, did you see what they have? And I'm like, what? They have Rey Skywalker's lightsaber. And he was talking about the one that the original, the Anakin. You know how they brought it back and it was Anakin's, but it was and now it's Rey's, right? Mm-hmm. And this was before the Rise of Skywalker. Obviously now she has her own. But he was telling me that, and he was excited for it. And I was like, wow, this is interesting. Because, again, I'm not hating on it, but I just remember thinking, like, well, this is not something I would have said myself, you know? But it's just, it was interesting.
I mean, there are people, I mean, that's the thing about art, right? It's subjective, and people can find joy in things that we don't like, right? Like, people can find things that, you know, it touched them in a different way than it touched us. But, like, you can see it. I think the time tells the story, right? Because the things that you keep going back to are the things that that stand the test of time, are the ones that have the stories that resonate with you. And to me, I just felt like the way it's been handled for a lot of these franchises is, I know we've been saying this forever, but, like, I watched that guy with such hope in his eyes, and, like, I really hope he watched that movie and was just completely satisfied. But imagine watching it and, like, being so excited for, like, this is his baby, right? This is his thing that he loves so much, and then being completely unsatisfied because they didn't respect the characters, they didn't respect the lore, they didn't respect what the Force is, you know? Like they didn't go back and watch or like study the original stuff that people love, right? I don't.
Somehow
this is what makes
Palpatine returned.
somehow Palpatine. Like, what is that? So I mean, I just hope he did watch it and he enjoyed it. But
Yeah, dude. I mean, I
it
know
just-
George Lucas had his original script of where he would have wanted Star Wars to go,
Mhm.
and I've always been curious to see like what could have happened if he kept Star Wars, because like when he's selling it, it looks so weird when he's talking to Bob Iger selling Star Wars over. It looks like he doesn't want to, like he's like selling his soul. I don't know
he
if there was
seems so reluctant, and he even says it, doesn't he? Say like, I had to sell it to the. What does he say? He says like the
don't
tyrants or
remember.
something. I forget what he said.
He says something, but he like, man, dude, I again, I don't know. It's so interesting because like it feels like now they have him like they have him strapped down where he's not able to say anything or do anything. He's
Right.
kind of done. Like
He can't. He's sold it all. He's like
he's
written it
done,
off,
but like
yeah.
he can create more. I'm hoping he does something, one last thing before
That'd
he
be cool.
passes. Like he's a pretty old guy. He's not like crazy old, but like
But
I hope
he's
he
like
does something.
Spielberg old, and Spielberg's still making movies.
Exactly, but like I want him to do something. One more thing that he's just like really passionate about, that he's been working on for years, that just blows us away.
That'd be cool.
It just, I think, like you said, the respect of the original films, and I think they wanted to add something different for the new generation, and they did. Right, Rey Skywalker is now viewed as like one of the best dead Jedis in the world, probably to some people, because she was able to take
What
out
was she
Kylo
able
Ren,
to
who
do?
was she was able to take out Kylo Ren without any training,
Without any training at all. She was
without any
gifted.
training at all. Like, she was just gifted. She's a Palpatine. Or I mean, so, I apologize. She's a Skywalker.
She's a Skywalker now.
Self-proclaimed.
Yeah.
But she did that, and like probably little girls love that. They're probably like, I don't remember, and then I might be wrong. Do you ever remember being like a kid and being like, man, I want to see someone that looks like me and is like me to be this? I just remember seeing Batman, Bruce Wayne, and being like, man, I am Batman and Bruce Wayne when I wear this costume. When I was a kid in freaking Halloween. You know what I mean? Like now it's all about, I need to see this person. The other day I saw like this chubby lady who was like super excited because Diablo 4 added a lady that looked like her. Some chubby like lady that looked like was all buff or something. And it was like, doesn't really look like her, but it looked sort of like her. And she was all excited about it. And that's probably a lot of people. And we don't think of that.
It's funny that you brought up Batman though, because Batman has that great line. Was it in The Dark Knight or something? He says it's not who I am on the outside, but it's what I do that defines me, right? And I think what you see when you see a character that you love, it's because you see, I could potentially be this person, or I see myself in this person, or it's something to aspire to, and it's fun. I think there is a bit of seeing somebody that looks like me. Oh, cool! Like, this guy almost looks just like me. He's got the same little mustache. He's tall like me or whatever. Like, that's cool, but that's surface level, right? And it's like, I want to know the very next thing. As soon as I see that person, I want to know, what's the character, right? Is this a likable person? Because I don't want somebody to be represented that looks like me that's not a likable guy. It's like if I see a character named Jason and he's like a douchebag, and I'm like, oh, he's not representing. He's not representing the Jasons.
You're like, that's me. You're all like, no, you don't. Yeah, you're right. Like, there's a reason I love Superman as a character. Like, it isn't because of his superpowers. It's what he does.
It's not a suit. It's not a skin. It's nothing. You're just like,
yeah. I've thought about this. I was thinking about this actually recently, because one of the things we teach our daughter, me and my wife, which I'm proud of the way we kind of handle it, is her being brave. Because a lot of, as a kid, and we don't realize this as adults, but as a kid, we're always seeing something new every day, right? We just took her to Disneyland, and she went on the Dumbo ride, and she was flying on the thing, and she was scared. I could feel her like scared, like she was shaking. You know what I mean? But prior to that, I had told her, I'm like, Amar, you're gonna be brave. And she's like, yeah, reluctantly, right? And I'm gonna say that what do you feel like you are? And she's like, I'm brave. And then we got on and we did the little ride, and even though she was scared, she still did it. And I was like, dude, like this is awesome. Like
That's cool.
you know what I mean? Like it's different, but that's what I like about Superman is like that he's always brave. It's what he does with the superpowers. It isn't like that he's so strong and he's hurting all these enemies and all that stuff. It's like he's a brave guy and he does the right thing. Like that's the character I love. That's what I want like James Gunn to bring out in the new movies is like that particular part of the character. Him trying to be humane. Because obviously he can kill everyone, right? Like he's like super overpowered. Like that's not what I want to see. I know Zack Snyder was like, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think that everybody, it doesn't matter where you are, where you came from, where you grew up, right? You can relate to that. You can see that quality in Superman and be like, that's pretty cool, I mean, unless you don't want to be brave, but I mean, like even if you're a shy person, you can be like, I wish I was like Superman, I wish I could be brave like that. I don't know, but yeah, you're muted, bro. But yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you. I was gonna say I know a lot of people kind of like they like certain characters because of the way they are, and they're like, oh, this character kind of is like me or whatever. I was talking to one of my friends from work, and she was telling me that her son loves this particular character in this anime he watches. And she's like, oh, it's because he's kind of shy. And so he feels like he's shy like the character. And he likes to help people. So that's why he feels like he is that character. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It was, and I get that. But nowhere near or nowhere in that moment did she say, oh, she likes him because he has horns. Like, because he has horns like him. He didn't care.
He wears green shirts like me. Yeah, it's like.
No, it wasn't anything.
I think when you find a character that you like that happens to look like you, that's icing on the cake, right? Like it's like, oh, that's cool. He just also happens to wear shirts that I wear, but like you're more interested in the character, the quality of the person. I think, yeah.
That's just good story though, man.
That's good story.
We're lacking.
That's what we need, dude. It's not, yeah, it's not the diversity, bro. It's just the stories. Just give us good stories. All right. I think we got to wrap it up. Did you have anything other topics you want to
talk about? I just want to say one last thing because this is a stupid little image. But the Sacha Baron Cohen, I think I was talking to you guys about where Rebel Wilson had written a book and she had talked about the behavior on set with this particular guy. And apparently,
we talked about this in a couple episodes back, right?
Yeah, we talked about it in I want to say maybe it would have been like 5 episodes back, something like that. So,
update. Sorry.
What did you say?
I said update.
Update. Yeah, it's a little update.
The popcorn now.
Good.
I thought you were gonna wait. Wait, do you have the? Oh, you don't have it.
Which one?
This is the front of the guest one.
Reviewing.
Oh, I can't even hear it. I don't know. What's the Lex one? You don't have it here?
I have it.
What's it called?
Reviewing.
You hear it?
No, I can't even hear it.
You can't hear it? Friends in the cast can hear it.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. I know they can hear it. So apparently, she wrote a book, right? The Rebel Wilson. What was it called again? You said Rebels.
It was where is it?
Rebellions.
Rebel Rising.
It sounds like freaking like a Star Wars movie, huh? Rebels Rising. So yeah, apparently in the book in the UK, they took out the part of her mentioning Sacha Baron Cohen because apparently one of the spokesperson, which is I think his name is Harper Collins, decided to remove that contentious chapter after there was enough evidence that was contradicting what Wilson had said. And so they took it off the book. So now, I mean, I think in America, we'd probably get that version that she had written. But there in UK, I think they're protecting him.
Interesting. That is interesting, bro. So do you think it was a publicity stunt?
Possibly. But also, they could just be protecting him. You know what I mean? Like maybe he has that pull because he's a pretty big actor, right? We don't know. I mean, it's all hearsay. It's all... What's that? What's the word you say that when you say something that could be not true.
Hearsay?
No, it's another word. So essentially, so YouTube doesn't block us in a way. Allegedly.
There you go.
You have to always say allegedly, or we'll get
Yeah.
taken down. That's what it is. Allegedly, we don't know if this is real, right? Obviously, she said it because she felt some sort of way, and we don't know. But I just wanted to say that that's probably the last thing of the podcast, unless you have anything else to add to that.
It's interesting. I mean, it's a good update. Thank you for keeping us in the loop.
Of course, dude. Hey, I'm an updater. I'm a newscaster, a movie newscaster.
Did you order your copy of Rebel Rising? Are you gonna read it?
No, dude. I can't even freaking read my book for school, dude. I'm not gonna read this.
I'm curious. I'm curious what the actual like controversy is written. Like maybe there's details that we're missing. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he read the insert and he was like, "Dude, we need to like cancel this." And you could only get it taken down in the UK, but Americans it'll only increase her sales, right?
Yeah, possibly. I'm wondering how they're gonna do it because like it just says it's taken down in the UK. So I'm assuming I don't, is he from the UK? Do you know? Right? Is he?
I think he might be. Actually,
like
I don't know where he's from.
I don't even know either, but I'm gonna look this up because maybe they're protecting their only son.
Well, it says the spokesperson emphasizes that printing falsehoods contravenes the UK and the Australian law, highlighting the importance of fact checking prior to publication. So
yeah, he's from the UK. He's from UK.
They're saying you got to check your facts before you publish it. So, I don't know, Rebel. I want to believe you.
I know. I'm hoping something comes out of this, not like in a bad way, but also like I want to know more. Not in like I kind of don't want anything bad to be said about both of these people, but also like why it came out, like it's interesting. You kind of want to be the fly on the wall. You know what I mean? It's always the cool like, or I guess thought process is like the fly on the wall to see if it actually did happen. Like you can see it.
Yeah, you want the truth to be out there, but then you also it's weird, right? It's like you don't want the bad to be done either way.
You don't want good. You don't want the bad to like come out to light because it's like you don't want nothing to be bad, right? You want everything to be happy. You'd hope that she would have written Sacha Baron Cohen was such a gentleman during our filming.
Yeah, that's what you want, but like you also don't want
then it wouldn't be news,
her to
right?
tell
Like,
the truth and then to get covered up, right? So that
Exactly.
and essentially it's like the bad got away with it, and then that's not good either. So
no,
yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully the press will dig into this more, and we can.
Yeah, I know. That's why we're not press, dude. We don't press.
And we'll link it to Army Hammer or I don't know. The Rings of Power.
That's the X-Files song. But as always, we've come to the end of the podcast. Jason, I would like to thank you for joining me on the episode. I apologize for coming on such a late time. I don't know how long you were on actually before I got in, but thank you for running the show. I appreciate that.
No, we're good.
Friends of the cast, thank you again for tuning in every week when we drop an episode. We stream every Thursday, 9:30 to 10 p.m. I don't know. It just really depends on how life hits us. But we appreciate it and we appreciate you. Jason, please send us out.
Thank you guys for joining us once again. I appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a great week, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. If you guys stuck around to the end, all you guys out there, you guys are the true fans, and we appreciate you guys. We should send them something swaggy pretty soon. We'll think of a good. If you guys have a good idea for some swag, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to send them out. But yep. Till then, guys. Hope you guys have a great week, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Have a good week too.
We're having a song, dude. Thank you. Is it playing?
It's playing.
Why can't I hear it, dude? I'm sad.
Sorry, just pretend like you hear it.
I don't know why I did I just did the Rachel, or what's the Rachel?